might not have got a run.
Duncan gets a stolen base. It'll be his 5th. There's no error charged as there was on the play last night.
Well, that's surprising because the ball was well ahead of Duncan. The tag was applied. Alicea just not able to hold on to it.
Dalton takes outside. 2 balls and no strikes on Darren. 2nd in the league with 61 runs batted in. 57 walks for Darren. That's 3rd in the league. Having an outstanding year. A little bit low, ball 3. He's got the base open with Incaviglia next. You wouldn't want to think that he would be pitching around Dalton. He'd rather get Dalton than Inky, I would think.
Well, and you get that left-left matchup. I know the manager wants the pitcher to go after the left-hander.
Right, and I think probably Osborne does too. He's just not gotten any pitches across yet. And Dalton had a 3-0 light. Fouled it off. You got a day game tomorrow, and it's going to be hot and sticky here. You have to wonder whether Darren Dalton will get the day off or what. He fouls this one back. Kind of thought that he might be off tonight and then would come in tomorrow and face the right-hander, but obviously that's not the scenario.
And of course, the Phillies with a doubleheader on Friday. Dutcher's going to catch at least one of those ball games.
Right. Padres coming in Friday. By the way, speaking of those games Friday, David Montgomery, Phillies executive vice president, announced today that there are less than 5,000 seats remaining for the Friday twin bill and less than 4,000 for the Saturday single game. Fireworks to follow on both those dates. Inside, Dalton draws a walk. Darren his 58th base on balls. Plenty of tickets for the Sunday night game, July 4th at 8:05, and that'll be batting helmet night. And plenty of tickets for the rest of the games in the homestand. Well, the Phillies need a big hit out of Incaviglia. 2 on and 2 out. Phillies lead 1-0. They measured that home run by Incaviglia here the other night. There are the 2 men on base. 448 feet. Normally they don't announce the IBM tail of the tape on visiting home runs, but everybody wanted to know what was that thing. So they came up with the reading, and there's a called strike on Pete. There's where it went. About the 3rd row up there. Upper deck, just inside the foul pole by about 10 feet.
Up over the top of the stadium club and everything else. Hits it up there tonight. They're going to have to take a little run to go get it. There's nobody up there this evening.
No. Fouls it back. No balls and 2 strikes on Incaviglia. The Phillies have not faced Donovan Osborne this year. They did last year in his rookie season. They won 2 and he won 2. His earned run average against the Phillies was 3.33. Donovan making his 16th start tonight. He's pitched 1 complete game. He is subject to giving up the long ball, a dozen. Highest on the Cardinals staff. He gave up only 14 all of last year. Outside. 1 and 2 on Incaviglia. Amaro on deck. Pete has driven in runs in 6 straight games that he has started. Jim Eisenreich had a big night here last night. Eisenreich had a 2-run triple and an RBI double last night. Breaking ball hit to center field, charged by Jordan, can't get it, run scores. Here's Duncan crossing the plate. Dalton to third base. 2-0 Phillies. Another RBI for Incaviglia.
We mentioned that Osborne likes to pitch the left-handers away. He also likes to pitch the right-handers away. What Incaviglia does here with 2 outs is he squares the field up. That ball down and away, but instead of trying to pull the ball, tries to hit the ball between the gaps between right center field and left center field. Because he's trying to do that, he stays in long enough to be able to get the bat on the ball, hit that soft liner into center field, and get another run in for the Phils.
And got Dalton to third base, and in steps Ruben Amaro. A gaudy .529 batting average for Amaro. 9 hits and 17 at bats since being called up. Low ball 1. Ruben has faced Donovan Osborne before. In fact, he has 2 hits and 9 career at bats. And here comes Joe Coleman out of the Cardinal dugout. The St. Louis pitching coach is on the way to the hill. Shaky start by the Cardinal left-hander Donovan Osborne. Osborne comes into the game having won 2 straight decisions.
Joe Coleman a little jumpy after last night. He made quite a few trips to the mound last night trying to get his pitching staff straightened out. Control was the problem last night. The walks, the bad counts that his pitchers were in, and that is very unlike the St. Louis Cardinal pitching staff. Coleman has these guys trained that, get the ball over, get ahead early in the count, work the ball away. So far, Osborne's been doing a pretty good job of working the ball away, but he has fallen behind in some counts, which I'm sure upsets Coleman. Cardinals also went through a few pitchers last night, and they're a little short in their bullpen, so trying to get the problem solved before it gets too bad.
Cardinals used 4 bullpenners last night. The Phillies used 3, so a total of 7 relievers in the ball game last night. 6 of the 7 were scored upon. The one who wasn't faced only 1 batter. There's Ben Rivera, Phillies starter and winner last night, even though he gave up 5 runs. Fly ball right field. Witten should get this one. He does, and that takes care of the inning, but it's a good start for the Phillies, who get 2 runs on 3 hits. There was an error. 2 men left on base. Phillies 2, Cardinals coming up.
The Bud Light Spotlight's on Phillies. We'll tell you what we like with our Bud Light.
Beach volleyball and Bud Light. Give me the Flyers and a Bud Light.
Cheesesteaks?
Cheesesteaks. Cheesesteaks.
And I'm already with the Philly cheesesteaks. Anything goes well with Bud Light.
We like Bud Light and Dan. Bud Light!
Bartender, we need a Bud Light.
Why will some people only use Texaco System 3 gasolines?
I'll tell you the first reason.
My dad says System 3 cleaned out his intake cleanings and his fuel inspector.
Second reason. Our dads keep saying get good grades. So we come here. The reasons I come here.
Every grade of Texaco System 3 performs in cars both new and old.
They do? Well, no wonder we're getting the horsepower we should be getting.
Count on System 3 for performance in your car.
Reasons, I mean, where do I start?
Loosen your tie, take off your coat, roll up your sleeves. It's a business person special, Thursday, July 29th at 12:35. Compliments of Mellon PSFS. Go ahead, you deserve a break. Call 463-1000.
The Sherwin-Williams starting lineup for the Cardinals. Bernard Gilkey in left, Ozzie Smith at short, Greg Jeffries at first, Todd Zeile at third, Mark Whitten in right, Brian Jordan in center, Luis Alicea at second base, Tom Pagnozzi behind the plate, and pitcher Donovan Osborne.
And the Phillies defense this evening has John Kruk at first base, Mickey Morandini at second, Mariano Duncan at short, and Dave Hollins at third. Pete Incaviglia is in left with Lenny Dykstra in center and Ruben Amaro in right. Darren Dalton is behind the plate, and on the mound, 26-year-old right-hander Tommy Green. As we mentioned, Tommy's last start was this past Friday, and the Phillies won that game against the Pirates by a score of 8-6. Tommy got a no decision in that game, and probably his worst outing of the season. He lasted just 2 1/3 innings, gave up 7 hits, 5 runs, walked 3, and struck out only 1. So in that ball game, he really didn't have a whole lot of pop on his fastball. It was one of those bad ball games for him. So he has to establish tonight, number 1, the good fastball, and number 2, especially against the Cardinal left-hand hitters, establish the inside part of the plate with that fastball.
Gilkey leads it off, and the Cardinals have been getting off to quick starts. They've scored a pair in the first inning in each of the first 2 games of this series. Gilkey batting at .310. He started both games with a hit, and he misses a breaking ball, strike 1. 5 homers, 25 RBIs for the St. Louis born and bred Bernard Gilkey.
We mentioned Tommy struggled his last 4 starts. That's the bad news. The good news is in his 14 starts this year, the Phillies are 13-1. So when T. Green has been on the mound, the Phillies have normally won the ball game, and he's been a good luck charm of sorts for them.
Well, that is true. The Phillies have taken him off the hook in a couple. And he has just that one loss all year. Misses outside. Ball and 2 strikes on Gilkey. Final day of the month. Cardinals looking for their 20th win this month of June. Breaking ball away, and the Cardinals have won 19 of their last 25 ball games. Looked like they were dead in the water at one point, and they really picked up the pace. The 2-2 to Gilkey. Ground ball hit toward the hole. Hollins can't get it. Landed on that right wrist, did Hollins, and Gilkey has started every game in this series with a base hit.
After throwing some breaking balls to Gilkey on the outside part of the plate at 2-2, Tommy comes back with the fastball, gets it down the middle part of the plate. Gilkey on top of it a little bit, but able to bounce it through the hole on the left side. Dave Hollins, as you mentioned, trying to make that diving stop, not quite able to get there.
Ozzie Smith batting .276. Ozzie takes a strike. Ozzie has not hurt the Phillies this year. He's only 3 for 20 in his at-bats against the Phillies. Ozzie's got one of those totally unique contracts. It renews every year, in which he gets 400 at-bats. And he's not that far from it right now.
.272 at this point.
He's certainly on target to get it.
Well before the All-Star break.
Going inside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ozzie Smith. Ozzie just never strikes out. He strikes out once every 33 plate appearances. With Gilkey at first base, the question arises, are the running Redbirds still the running Redbirds?
Well, the Cardinals have 71 stolen bases this year, and they are still the running Redbirds. It's part of their game. Don't have a whole lot of power in the lineup and playing in the big ballpark here in Busch Stadium, but unlike a lot of the past years, their percentage is not nearly as good as it has been in the past. They've only been successful 69% of the time, which is really a pretty low number considering the number of times that they steal. They've stolen 71 bases, but they've been thrown out 35 times. So I mentioned only 67% of the time they've been successful, only 2 out of 3.
Phillies have a much higher percentage of success rate. Ozzie pulls one through. However, Gilkey had to hold up to make sure the ball did go through, so he makes it to second base. Ozzie Smith singles, and the first 2 Cardinals have reached.
So as has happened in the first 2 games of this series, Cardinals come out firing in the first inning. Ozzie Smith just getting that pitch, and he knew that he had the hole on the right-hand side with Kruk having to hold Gilkey on at first base. Just rolled a nice ground ball right through into right field, took advantage of the hole.
Greg Jefferies with a 12-game hitting streak and the 5th top batting average in the league at .332. And you talk about having a good month. His numbers for June, .452, that's all. 2 on, nobody out. Jefferies takes a strike. Jefferies 0 for 3 in his at-bats against Tommy Green this year. There's a look at what Jefferies has done in June. Nice stop by Dalton to pitch outside in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Looked like Dutch got something in his eye on that. Playing with a nice shiner, isn't he?
Had that badge for a while now.
Yeah. I think some dirt. I think that ball knocked some dirt up into his eyes.
And sometimes when you get that breaking ball down in the dirt, the spin on the ball will kick the dirt up in the air. Kicked it through the mask and into Dutch's eye.
High and away, 2 balls and 1 strike on Jefferies. Jefferies among the league leaders in hits. He has 93. Only 2 players in the league have more hits than Jefferies.
Also, as you mentioned, Jefferies with the 10 home runs. You think of guys that hit that many home runs as guys that will strike out on occasion. Jefferies has only struck out 19 times in 304 plate appearances.
There's one offline. Phillies failed to pull the double play. Give Ozzie Smith a little credit. And that slide at second base. Well, there's the first out of the inning.
Morandini has to go deep to get this ball. Gives the ball to Duncan a little bit behind the bag, and watch Ozzie. Quite legal, able to touch the bag, but he goes hard into Duncan, making Dunk throw the ball offline to first base. Dunk was a little bit out of position and set up a little bit by that throw to the outfield side by Morandini, and Ozzie, who has been taken out, I'm sure, on a few of those plays, knows exactly what to do with a shortstop in that position.
First out, runners now first and third. Todd Zeile comes to the plate. He had a 3-run home run here last night. Zeile batting .247, 2 homers, 34 runs batted in. And the Phillies again look for a double play. The pitch is low and away, ball 1. Zeile has saved his best hitting for right here in this ballpark. He's batting .290 at Busch Stadium this year, but his season's average .247.
Zeile hitting in the 4 spot for the Cardinals. Cardinals would really like him to be a little bit more aggressive. They feel that he takes too many pitches hitting in this 4 spot. He's a very patient hitter, likes to try to work the count where he has an advantage in that situation right now with 2 balls and no strikes, but they feel that he would drive in more runs if he was not quite as selective hitting in that 4 spot. They want him to drive in more of the runs and be a little bit more aggressive, but they have not been able to convince him to take that approach yet.
I talked with Chris Chambliss before the game about Chris is the hitting coach here, about Zeile. Chris says he is trying to get him to stay on the ball and actually hit the ball more to right and right center than he had in the past. They felt that Zeile was pulling too many balls. That's a fair ball, safe at third. Throw to first for the out. Runner goes to second, 2 outs. Zeile grounds out. Jeffries advances. There are 2 outs. Good to see Hollins throw the ball. Second and third for Mark Whitten. Whitten batting at .240. He's been a tough out for the Phillies. He's batting .368 against the Phillies. And he's in a spot where a key 2-out hit here could tie this ball game.
Tommy has an opportunity right here to get himself out of the trouble in the first inning without any damage being done.
Misses with a breaking ball. Whitten takes ball 1. Phillies ahead 2-0. We're in the first.
Seeing a lot of breaking balls early from Tommy Green this evening.
Pitch for a strike, which is not necessarily bad. It could mean that that he's just trying to establish it.
Well, if you can establish the breaking ball early, then what that does is, especially if your fastball's a little short, and we mentioned that Tommy was short with his fastball the last game quite a bit. If you establish the breaking ball and they have to respect it, that fastball will look just a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
So you can actually put a little velocity on your fastball by using your breaking ball.
There's breaking ball in the dirt. It's 2-1. Dalton will be tested, will he not? The more breaking balls that Tommy uses, the more Darren's going to go scrambling like that.
One of those things about Dutch you just don't really realize is how good he does it. What a great job he does behind the plate of blocking those balls in the dirt. Very few get by.
So smooth, too. Here's a breaking ball for a strike, and it's 2-2. Whitten looking fastball, not getting it. Another breaking ball. Oh, Tommy thought that was strike 3. He's jumping up and down on the mound. Didn't look like it perturbed him too much, but he thought that was a strike. You could tell. And it almost was. Watch it.
It's just pitch on the outside corner. Eric Gregg makes a little bit of a flinch. I think that's what got Tommy moving, was the flinch that Eric made, but says no, it wrapped around the outside corner.
Fastball hit in the air to left field. Incaviglia is there. Green challenged him and gets out of the inning. No runs, 2 hits and 2 left at the end of 1, 2-0 Phillies. As we go to the second inning, Mickey Morandini leads it off. He has a 7-game hitting streak during which he has batted .370. For the year, .245, and Mickey takes Osborne's pitch low. Mickey tied for the league lead, 6 triples. Morandini 1 for 8 in his career off this tough left-hander. He slams into this one deep to right field. It is caught by Whitten on the warning track. Morandini's bid for a home run fell just a little short.
Busch Stadium, one of the toughest ballparks in the league to hit the ball out of. Morandini gets a fastball up and on the inside part of the plate. Normally hits the ball the other way. This time drives Witten back against the wall right by the 375 sign in right center field. So Mickey gets a good ride, and in most ballparks probably would have had a chance to go out, but in Busch Stadium, Witten's able to chase it down, just ran out of room.
Here's Tommy Green, another good hitter. Tommy's 6 for 34, including a home run this year. Tommy with 3 lifetime home runs in the big leagues. And all 3 of his home runs have been hit off left-handers. A screaming hot shot foul down into the Phillies bullpen. 0-2 on Green.
We'd like to pass along get well wishes to Jack Collins of Chester, Pennsylvania. And also wish a happy birthday to Bill Scott, Hamilton Township. Bill's 63 years old today.
The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball grounded right into the Phillies dugout. Nice play, Mariano.
Have to be alert no matter where you are in this ballpark.
This is a nice ballpark right downtown St. Louis. A couple of hotels within walking distance. High fastball, and Tommy strikes out. Osborne's second strikeout. And there you can see one of them. You can see the Marriott Hotel right in your picture. When the Cubs stay here and they stay in the Marriott, they say that you cannot get an elevator. You know, the Cubs Cardinals series, of course, is unbelievable, and fans come here from Chicago, and it is a tough elevator time of the year.
Can't get an elevator, and it's very difficult to get through the lobby of the hotel in the afternoon. All the fans hanging out looking for a chance to see the players.
Lenny Dykstra has already scored a run tonight, his 71st of the year. He leads the league following his leadoff double, takes a strike. Lenny with 1,000 career hits and a quick start toward that second 1,000. 3 already. 1 ball, 1 strike on Lenny. You know, he had said that by the end of June he would be at 300. He's not going to make that, but it's been a good month for him. He's at 286 right now.
There's a little dispute about that statement. Lenny said to somebody asking him if he would like to be at 300 at the end of the month, and he said, of course I would. So whether he said it or not, it's been a good month.
He's the kind of guy, though, that likes to put pressure on himself. I mean, remember in spring training he talked about winning a batting title. Here's a solid smash, but Witten is there. Lenny lines out, and you're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel.
Easily by phone, just call 463-1000.
Bottom of the second, Phillies ahead 2-0. Brian Jordan leads it off for St. Louis, and Tommy brushes him back, ball 1. Jordan batting .200 for the year, but that's for all of his time with the Cardinals. He was brought back just last Friday, and he's hitting .294 just in this stint with St. Louis. He was batting .375 at Louisville when they brought him up, and he gets a base hit. So the Cardinals again get a leadoff single, second inning in a row. Hit number 3 for St. Louis. He's filling in for the injured Ray Lankford.
Again, the fastball by Tommy Green, not a bad location, down and away, but Jordan able to go down and drive it just over the top of Mariano Duncan at shortstop. A pretty good job of hitting there by Jordan. Not a bad pitch at all by Tommy Green.
Do the Phillies ever get this guy out? He is 6 for 12 off the Phillies and .342 lifetime against Phillies pitching. Not doing bad against the whole league. .325 this year for Alicea. He's not even a regular. The regular second baseman Geronimo Pena has a tight left hamstring, and he's been sidelined a couple of days. Cardinals fighting through a few injuries right now. Gilkey playing with one. He has stiffness behind his left knee, but he's managed to stay in there. There's Geronimo, or the Chief, as they call him here. Strike.
Joe Torre in a situation where he actually has 3 second basemen on this club. Alicea, who's in the lineup tonight, is probably the better defensive of the 3. Pena the better offensive player, and Jose Oquendo probably the most complete player, but Torre doesn't like to put him in the lineup because he likes to have him on the bench. He can do so many things with him off the bench. So Oquendo is kind of the odd man out in the three-way shuffle at second base.
Jordan goes as they play hit and run, but Alicea fouls it back. Well, I think you just perk up his confidence a little bit, calling him the best defensive second baseman of the group after what's happened to him here last night.
Well, he has struggled the last couple days, but Alicea is a good defensive ball player. Just hit in one of those ruts the last couple nights where every ball that comes to him, and he actually got away with one tonight. That play should have been ruled an error at second base. Ball there in plenty of time, not able to hold on to it, but good solid defensive player.
Just inside. You know what Tommy Green needs, and he's not going to get it here unless he's awfully lucky, but he needs a couple of easy innings. And the Cardinals don't allow you to have many easy innings because they get a lot of hits.
Very difficult to strike out. Most Cardinal hitters are going to get the bat on the ball. I mentioned Ozzie Smith earlier being very difficult to strike out. Jeffrey's difficult to strike out. Most of the Cardinal hitters, contact hitters, have that short compact swing. Hard to get them to take that full rip and miss.
Jordan goes, and it's fouled again by Alicea. Joe Torre is determined to get something going on the base paths, and that's the second time he has started Brian Jordan. I was talking to Joe Torre last night. I said, Joe, it's great to have an ex-broadcaster as a skipper. We can come down here and get what we need from you. He says, yeah, he says, I talk in sound bites.
He doesn't think in sound bites, so he's 3, 4, 5 steps ahead all the time.
He's got that glowering demeanor. He's actually a character. He always looks like a sourpuss, but nothing could be further from the truth. Tommy Green strikes out Luis Alicea, his first strikeout. He did it with a breaking ball.
Breaking ball wraps it around on the outside corner. Alicea caught looking here. Little slider right on the outside corner, possibly a little wide. Alicea may have had a little bit of a gripe. Nonetheless, he's back in the dugout.
He is, and Tom Pagnozzi takes his place in the batter's box. Pag's unhappy about not playing last night, but he's back in there this evening, hitting at .227. He's done a terrific job since being out 5 weeks after arthroscopic knee surgery. There's a breaking ball and a strike, but he has batted in 6 of the 8 games since returning and hit 367 during that span. Well, he made a terrific play here on Monday night, a sliding catch of a foul pop in the dugout. Alicea is not happy.
Well, Cardinal hitters don't go down looking very often. As we said, Alicea may have been rung up a little bit on that pitch.
Pagnozzi misses one, and it's no balls and 2 strikes on the Cardinal catcher. He is not a guy who endears himself to opponents. Apparently he does a lot of chirping to the hitters down there, and they don't like Pagnozzi very much.
Well, hitters they're like tennis players. They want it to be nice and quiet when they're playing. Tennis players and golfers, you have to be completely silent. Hitters are the same way. They don't like anybody behind the plate holding a conversation with them while they're trying to hit.
But some of the most famous catchers of all time have been real chatterboxes back there. Part of their strategy.
Well, once you get established, though, as a star player, most of the hitters are going to want to talk to you when they get up there. Pagnozzi just hasn't quite made it into that category yet.
That's true.
They're not real excited about hearing what he has to say.
I was reading in one of those stories about Roy Campanella the other day about how much constant chatter he kept up behind the plate. 1-2. Phillies lead the Cards 2-0. We're in the second inning. Final game tomorrow will feature Curt Schilling for the Phillies and Bob Tewksbury for St. Louis. It's a day game. Both teams will be leaving town. The Cards go to Houston and the Phillies come home. There goes Jordan again. This ball was in the dirt. It's a strikeout, however. Stolen base for Jordan, his second. Pagnozzi strikes out, second out of the inning.
All 3 strikes on Pagnozzi breaking balls. First 2 close to the strike zone. This one nowhere close. Dutch does a nice job again of blocking the ball and keeping it in front of him. Had no chance at all for Jordan at second base, but easily could tag out Pagnozzi. So Pagnozzi, 3 breaking balls, came up empty on all 3 of them.
Osborne batting at 172 with 5 hits, no homers, 3 runs batted in. Stands right up on top of the plate. Not too many pitchers do that. And takes a strike.
But if you notice, when Osborne, he starts on top of the plate, but by the time the ball gets there, he's leaving the area.
Maybe that's the way he keeps from bailing totally out of the box, huh?
I know that stance.
High 1-1. One thing about warm weather like this, it should be right up Tommy Green's alley. He's from North Carolina. They got a lot of warm weather in the summertime there. Osborne fouls it away. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Cardinal pitcher.
Actually, all the Phillies starting pitchers should like the warm weather. All real big guys, and normally a guy that is big physically likes it better when it's warm because much more difficult for them to get loose and to be able to just be nice and smooth and relaxed. Cold weather, much more difficult for a big man to get loose in.
Struck him out. Tommy Green strikes out the side after a leadoff single. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. Go to the 3rd, 2-0 Phils. Our ballot, they are available at the ballpark. And we go to the 3rd. Here's Mariano Duncan to lead it off, and Osborne catches the corner. Dunk has a single, stolen base, and run in this ball game. Plus, he caught a foul ball in the dugout.
He's hot.
The ball is finding Duncan. Breaking ball for a strike, and Osborne gets ahead 0-2, and Duncan has to regroup, but he is 5 for 11 in his career off Donovan. Foul back. Duncan, another guy that doesn't want to see this month of June end. He's batting close to .320 in the month of June. Osborne outside. Well, neither team is planning to take hitting prior to the game tomorrow. It's a 12:30 local time start here in St. Louis, and everybody's planning to just show up and play the ball game tomorrow, which is going to be tough. If you think it's hot and sticky here tonight, as they say, you ain't seen nothing yet. Nothing like those 12:30 games and you see that heat shimmering off the turf, you know.
You'll be able to see it tomorrow, that's for sure.
And they're using those all-star ballots for fans tonight.
Anything to keep cool.
Tapper to shortstop, charged by the Wizard. He's always fun to watch. Got that quick release. Not a strong arm any longer. Never did really have a strong one, but the quickest release of any shortstop. And now John Kruk. Kruk hit a liner to the center fielder Jordan, caught first time up.
Frank Fitzpatrick of the Philadelphia Inquirer, the beat writer that follows the ball club. He and his wife Charlotte celebrating an anniversary today, and that's why this marriage works so well. Frank's here and Charlotte's back in Philadelphia, but Charlotte will have him back home to you tomorrow afternoon.
Funky swing by Kruk. That's Ray Finocchiaro sitting there talking with Frank. Funky swing by Krucky, and look at that look on his face.
Does that mean that Ray's in charge of Frank today? Charlotte put Ray in charge of Frank?
Maybe so.
Charlotte, I don't know about your choice of bodyguards there. He doesn't even know where he's at.
Well, no, somebody said, hey, you guys are on TV. That's what it was. We are?
Why?
A little bit inside. Cardinals not televising this game tonight, so we have yet to see our friend Al Roboski on this visit into St. Louis. We missed that.
always an interesting conversation when you sit down talking to the mad Hungarian.
Apparently Al doesn't miss it quite as much because he hasn't showed up. What a stop by Zeal. Gets up and throws. He got him. That's an outstanding play. Terrific play by Zeal.
Sometimes you do everything right at the plate and it still doesn't work out. Kruk hits the ball, slams it down the left side. Zeal completely extended, not only gets the ball but gets up and a good, strong, accurate throw to first base just to get Kruk. So Todd Zeal started out his career as a catcher, but he has made a fine adjustment to playing third base and just made an outstanding play right there.
You know, Zeal has more errors than any other Cardinal, and he was complaining recently about not seeing the ball well at the plate. Here's Phillies third baseman Dave Holland. Not seeing the ball well, I should say, at third base. He said, I'm just not getting a good look at it. Well, he sure got a look at that. How about that throw, though? I mean, that was a terrific stop and a great throw.
Yeah, because not only was he diving to catch the ball, but he was actually diving in a direction that was taking his body away from first base. He landed on his chest with his feet pointed toward first base, turns around, gets up, and able to make a good, strong throw right on the money.
Slam down the left field line, a foul ball. Hollins hits it a ton, but foul. And that play at first base was extremely close, wasn't it?
Well, anytime a third baseman has to make that kind of play, it better be close at first base. John Kruk wished it was just a little less close, that he was just safe by that margin instead of out, but just a great play by Zeal.
Hollins gives it a ride into left center, carrying well, and the ball's in play. Extra bases for Hollins. It'll be a ground rule double. Hollins bounces it over for the Phillies' second ground rule double in this ball game.
Brian Jordan has to put himself back together. The ball over Gilkey. Jordan makes a leaping dive and ends up on that rubberized track. And when you hit that track, you don't slide very much. That's not like landing on the turf. I'm sure that Jordan left a little bit of his arms and elbows and everything else laying out there on that warning track in left center field. A gallant effort by Jordan, but just came up a little bit short. He took part of the warning track back with him.
Here's Dalton. Darren drew a walk first time up. A 2-out double by Hollins, and let's see what the Phillies can do about it. Phillies ahead 2-0, third inning. Dalton takes a strike. Dalton has a career home run off Osborne, and in his career he's 4 for 7 batting against him. Way outside, and that was a pretty good stop by Pagnazzi. Even if you didn't have to make stops on the dirt, on a night like this here in St. Louis, catchers earn their keep.
Oh, got to wear all that gear. It's hotter than can be. That heavy padding that's all around you makes it difficult to move, and you have to be up and down every pitch. It's a full night's work back there.
Got up under it. Fly ball center field. Jordan plenty of time to get in a little bit. Dalton is out, and you're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. We go to the last of the third. 2-0 Phillies. Pushed full, not quite, but just about there. And the Phillies holding a 2-0 lead as we go to the bottom half of the third inning. Against the running Redbirds, St. Louis Cardinals, and Tommy Green has struck out the last 3 batters that he has faced. So now the top of the lineup due here, Gilkey, Smith, and Jeffries. And Gilkey and Smith got hits to start the ball game, but Cardinals couldn't get them in. The Cardinals have stranded 3 runners tonight. Here's Gilkey with a hit to start every game in the series, Teak.
And Tommy going to try to change the pattern a little bit right here. The Cardinals leadoff hitters both the first 2 innings on base by way of base hits.
Ground ball, foul ball. Yeah, like I said before, what Tommy needs is a couple of easy innings on a night like this. You know, 1, 2, 3 innings.
Well, because when you have a couple innings like that, what happens is you can relax then. You start feeling like you're in control. You don't always have men on base. You're not always in trouble. Get into a little bit of a rhythm, a little bit of a flow into your ball game. Tommy has struggled the last few ball games. Nice to have a couple nice smooth innings so that he gets a little bit of that confidence back and a relaxed attitude that he normally takes out to the mound. You know, remember in the beginning of the season when he was reeling off all those wins and those great games, He was just walking out there and throwing the ball. He was comfortable every time.
That's a tough play for Duncan. He's not going to get him. It's another hit for Gilkey. Duncan did a nice job of keeping it in the infield, but it is a leadoff hit, and every Cardinal inning tonight has started with a single. Hit number 4 for St. Louis.
Well, we'll try again next inning.
We'll keep talking about it. Ozzie Smith, 1 for 1. He pulled a single through the right side hole. He'll probably be trying to do the same thing. It made a lot of sense. He's got that hole with Kruk holding Gilkey, so why not if he can get a pitch to pull? Ozzie already has more RBIs this year, 34, than he had all of last season. And Tommy pitches him away to make it more difficult to pull the ball. Bucky Dent, third base coach for St. Louis. Jack Hubbard coaches at first. Two and nothing. Skipper Joe Torre, he's an outstanding manager. Joe, in his 3rd full year here, is 12th as a major league manager. When he got the job, he was broadcasting for the California Angels. Three and nothing. On deck, Jeffries, one of the hottest hitters in the National League right now.
And what you don't want to do is give Mr. Jeffries too many opportunities to hit with men on base.
Ozzie walks. That's the first batter walked by Green, but puts 2 Cardinals on just as the opening inning began this way. The same 2 hitters have done it again. A first and second for Jeffries, and Johnny Padres has to be a little concerned.
Well, Tommy really, he's not pitching that poorly, but he hasn't really established that he's in control of this ball game yet. He's been behind in the count quite a bit early, and just really hasn't been able to grab hold of it yet. It's not like he's out of control, but he just really doesn't have control yet of what he wants to do out there on the mound.
Jeffries nearly hit into a double play first time up. Now Dalton calls time. He wants to talk with Green. Remember, Jeffries hit that bouncer to second. The Phillies got an out at second base, could not complete the double play. But the inning worked out okay as they went on to get Zeal to ground out and Witten to line out. Phillies lead it 2-0. We're in the 3rd. Jeffries over from Kansas City. Has taken to playing first base, has done a good job, although last night we saw an occasion where he did not cover first when he should have.
There was a lot of that going on last night.
Yeah, that's right. Orochit pulled it as well, the pitcher. I thought Oroch's error was more glaring than Jeffries, because Jeffries at least thought that his second baseman on a line drive was not going to catch the ball, and he was going out to set up in the gap for the return from the outfield. At least he had an explanation of where he was going.
He had a reason. He was in the wrong place, but he had a reason for being there. Tommy Green now behind 2 balls and no strikes on Jeffries, starting to get into that very dangerous area.
Oh boy. Strike, 2-1.
Gutsy call right there. I don't know if it was Tommy's choice or Dutch's choice, but 2 balls and no strikes, having just walked Ozzie Smith, comes in with the breaking ball and gets it in there for a strike. Jeffries did not agree, but doesn't matter. It's on the board.
Tommy's had pretty good command of that breaking ball tonight. There's a fastball line to right field. It's in for a hit. The bases are loaded. That's a 13-game hitting streak for Jeffries. Phillies lead it 2-0, and an inning is set up here as Johnny Padres trudges to the mound.
Tommy comes with the fastball down and in. Jeffries lines it hard to right field. Ruben thinks he has a shot at first to get there, has to pull up. Does a nice job of keeping the ball in front of him. If that ball skips by Ruben as much as he was coming in, it's at least a double for Jeffries, a couple runs for the Cardinals, possibly a triple. Ruben able to keep the ball in front of him and catch it cleanly and get it back into the infield quickly. All the Cardinal runners just able to move up 90 feet.
Now he will square off against Todd Zeile, the Cardinal cleanup hitter. This lineup is working out just the way a manager arranges it. You get the first 3 guys on, and then you bring up your cleanup hitter. And that's just the way it is right now. Zeile, off his outstanding defensive play, he, as a batter, hit one to the Phillies third baseman, Dave Hollins.
As we mentioned, Zeile likes to work the count, not real anxious to swing early. Tommy's been falling behind. Dangerous to fall behind Zeile in this situation.
Line drive to center field. Dykstra is there, catches. Gilkey tags at third. He scores. Smith moves to third. It's a 2-1 ball game. 1 out. RBI for Zeile, his 35th.
Well, Tommy does come into the strike zone with the fastball in the first pitch. Zeile hits it hard to center field, lines it out to Lenny Dykstra. Here we see that fastball, thigh high right down the middle. Zeile hits it back up the middle, but better than falling behind in the count. Cardinals get a run on the board, but the Phillies now in a situation where a possible double play ball can get you out of the inning, and you've already got an out, trying to keep the Cardinals from coming up with one of those real big innings.
Ozzie Smith went to third, so they have a runner there with less than 2 outs. So the Cardinals feeling as though they should be able to tie the ball game. Witten takes a strike. Witten hit the ball hard first time. He lined out to left. He's a good-looking young player. We saw him when he was with Toronto in spring training games, and I've always liked Mark Witten. Curveball, it misses inside, and there was no swing. Field to the third base umpire, Terry Tata. 1 ball, 1 strike. Eric Gregg has the plate. One ball, 1 strike on Mark Witten, a switch hitter. Slider again. It's 2-1. Green and the Phillies lead 2-1. But this is what the Cardinals do. They keep the pressure on. They've had hits in every inning tonight. On Witten. Got a base open, and Brian Jordan, a right-handed batter, coming up. So he may not challenge Witten. We'll see.
Well, Tommy's been struggling with his control a little bit this inning. Normally when you're struggling with your control, you're going to be a little leery about loading the bases up.
There's the fastball hit down the left field line, so he did challenge him. And it's a full count. That'll give Jeffries, the runner at first, a chance to start with the next pitch.
And Witten with just a little bit of an extended swing on that fastball away. First time around, Tommy threw him that fastball out away, and he hit a nice little fly ball to Incaviglia in left field. This time, same thing. It appears as if Witten is stronger on the ball on the inside part of the plate. Actually has to reach a little too far for him on that pitch on the outside. So if Tommy can get one out there, possibility of a fly ball to left, or maybe even better, a ground ball to short.
He went after it. He struck him out. Strikeout number 4 for Tommy Green.
Greg Jeffries on the play was running, moves down to second base. Here we see the breaking ball from Witten. Almost looked like he was trying to protect that outside part of the plate, way out in front of the breaking ball that was down and out of the strike zone. Was actually ball 4. Who said Jeffries was moving on the pitch, got to second base easily.
Here's Brian Jordan. That's a significant steal for Jeffries because it's the 100th of his career. Number 20 this year, but his career 100th. Jordan singled first time up, and he also stole a base. Curveball for a strike. Ray Lankford on the DL with a bad hand close to the wrist. Is Lankford's injury, so he's on the DL, and Jordan is taking his place, and it looks like Jordan's going to stay with the ball club even after Lankford comes back. 1-1. Tommy really wants an out here to preserve the lead, and the Cardinals have 2 in scoring position. This is the exact, not the exact point, it's 1 out further. Actually, he was out of his last start against Pittsburgh after 2 1/3 innings. He's got 2 2/3 innings in here. Got that one right by Jordan.
It appears as if since Johnny Padres went to the mound that Tommy Green has knocked it up a notch. Seems to be throwing the ball just a little bit more crisply. That pitch there was by Jordan before he could pull the trigger. So one of those situations, and it came up early in this ball game, where you've got to reach back and get yourself out of some trouble.
The 1-2 pitch jammed in. It's a foul ball. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes on Brian Jordan. Get the rounded corners here, and those balls scoot. Jordan, defensive back with the Atlanta Falcons. Out of Baltimore, Maryland. On the corner, a called 3rd strike, and Jordan is gone, and so are the Cardinals. They get 1 run on 2 hits and 2 men left on base, and it's 2-1 Phillies after 3.
Hey, Jersey, I'm buying. I drink Bud Light because I'm 245 pounds of U.S. steel and sex appeal.
He's unbelievable.
Jersey girls dig Bud Light.
Bud Light is made in New Jersey.
You know, we own that Statue of Liberty. They stole it from us.
Yo, bartender, Bud Light.
You want one too, don't you? How about a Bud Light?
Yo, it's Jersey stuff. It's Bud Light, you know?
Bud Light, up and away.
Budweiser and the Phillies are celebrating the 4th of July holiday weekend with the Bud Summer Baseball Bash. It's a special tent party outside Veterans Stadium on Monday, July 5th before the Phillies-Dodgers game. Right now, be the 17th caller to 1-800-432-1745 and win 4 tickets to the party and the game. You'll join us for food, music, and surprises, and then watch the Phillies play the Dodgers. It's the Bud Summer Baseball Bash with Budweiser and the Phils. So bring on the Dodgers and bring on the Bud.
The Phillies try to feast on the East when they shuffle the cards Tuesday, July 27th and Wednesday, July 28th at 7:35. And Thursday, July 29th, 12:35 for a business person special. Then the Pirates walk the plank Friday, July 30th at 7:35. Saturday, July 31st at 7:05. And Nostalgia Day Sunday, August 1st at 1:35 when everyone gets a free poster. Call 463-1000.
Brian Jordan may have a point here. He was a little upset with the call on this last strike, and judging by a close study of this replay, Brian Jordan thought it was outside. And how about that, Teak?
Well, camera angle over a little bit toward left center field, so it's going to move the ball a little bit. But that one's, I'll tell you what, if it was there, it was right on the black. May have had a complaint, but what a great job by Tommy Green. Bases loaded, nobody out. Anytime you can get out of that type of a situation, giving up only 1 run, you've done a good job of pitching.
Teak, are you suggesting that our center field camera level will move the ball? Did I hear you correctly?
Well, it's off to the side a little bit. We're not directly
so are
behind,
we, but we've never missed a pitch up here. We're always off to the side. Incaviglia leads it off, takes a breaking ball low, ball 1. Inky with an RBI single tonight. His 53rd run batted in. 2-1, the Phillies lead it. Fly ball, this should be a play for Witten. And that's the first out of the 4th. Ruben Amaro bats next for the Phillies as Witten makes that catch. Amaro's first time to the plate resulted in a fly ball out to Witten. Donovan Osborne. He has maybe some of the best stuff of any of the Cardinal pitchers. I'm talking about their starters. Here's a ground ball headed for the hole. The Wizards got the backhand play. Safe. Infield single for Ruben Amaro. Hit number 5.
Ozzie Smith still makes all the plays, goes into the hole here and makes the play on Ruben, but as you mentioned earlier, the arm not quite what it used to be. Tries to give the one hop throw to Jeffries at first, but Amaro beats it by about a complete step at first base. Difficult play for Ozzie, but way back in his heyday 7-8 years ago, I'll tell you what, that play would have been close at first base.
Looked like Ozzie hit a dead spot in the carpet there. Better check out that carpet. Here's Morandini. Mickey hit one to the track in a bid for a home run his first time up. Hit the bat. That's a strike. Ruben has good speed, and he has not stolen a base since he returned to the Phillies.
Has not attempted a steal.
No. Donovan Osborne thinking right along with us, going to make him shorten the lead.
Would be a little surprised if Ruben's running in this situation with Tommy Green on deck. We'd want to try to keep him out there so that if Morandini does not get on, Green can then sacrifice him along.
Pop up in the infield. Ozzie Smith takes it on the shallow outfield turf for the second out of the inning. Amaro at first, and here is Green. Tommy struck out on a high fastball first time up. 2-1 Phillies in the 4th.
And I just fell into the same trap that the players fall into every once in a while, losing count of the outs. Of course, with 2 outs in the inning, Tommy will not be bunting him along.
Did you have him bunting?
I
must not have been hanging on your every word. I didn't catch you. I would have severely criticized you for that had I heard that.
I should have been severely criticized, as should any player who is out there and does not know how many outs there are in an inning. So I will smack myself on the hand.
It's happened to all of us, Teak. Tommy at 171 for the year. Did he swing? He did, according to Jeff Kellogg. 0-2 on Greeny. One and 2. Trying to get Tommy to chase a high when he did his first time up, but that one was a little too high.
Just taking a look at the Cardinal defensive alignment, Bernard Gilkey not playing extremely deep in left field. Tommy Green has the kind of power that he can hit the ball over his head. If he gets it over there, Amaro can score from first base.
Here's a bouncer to Zeal. He'll make the play at first. Look at that arm. He's got a good arm. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Last of the 4th coming up, 2-1 Phillies. We were looking for this, Teak. We were just a couple innings ahead of our time. That's all.
And I think you can really look back to last inning to see how this one is starting to build right now. Tommy Green, again, last inning with the bases loaded, nobody out, able to get out of it with only 1 run scoring. Seemed to pick up the pace right after Johnny Padres went to the mound, knocked it up a notch, and seems to be hopefully getting into one of those relaxed, confident grooves now.
As mentioned, he also struck out Osborne. He takes a called strike. In a situation where the first 2 batters are out on 1 pitch, the 3rd batter must take a pitch. And Tommy, knowing that, made it sure it was a strike.
Found it right down in there, especially when that 3rd hitter is the pitcher.
Yeah. Look at this. Center field, base hit. Osborne gets his 6th hit of the year, a 2-out single. And that is hit number 6 for the Cardinals in the game tonight.
Well, Tommy, 4 pitches, 4 strikes, threw a good pitch here to Osborne. Just got it in on his hands. Osborne just fought it off and flared it over the infield. Not a pretty thing, but nonetheless, he is on base.
Here's a guy who has 2 of the Cardinal hits, Bernard Gilkey. Twice he has started innings with hits, and he has scored the only run for St. Louis. 2-1 Phillies. Gilkey has hiked his average to .316. Foul, strike 1.
We were mentioning earlier in the ball game, Tommy Green was falling behind pretty consistently behind the hitters. Has this inning thrown every pitch in the strike zone.
What a difference that makes. Right away, the hitter's in the hole.
Not only that, it makes it a lot easier on your arm. As the night goes on, you throw a heck of a lot fewer pitches in that way.
Now to play again, 0-2 on Gilkey. Gilkey's been getting a lot of doubles. Tonight both his hits are singles, but he has 10 doubles in the last 13 games. Pretty big total considering that he had only 19 two-base hits all of last season. That's high, 1-2. Gilkey in his career has had real good success off Tommy Green. 4 hits in 6 at-bats. Ground ball is short. That should do it. Shovel over Morandini for the fielder's choice, and that is it. No runs, 1 hit and 1 left, and after 4, Phillies lead 2-1. Crowd here in St. Louis always dressed for summertime, or so it seems. They have a long summer season here, and it's a great, great baseball city.
By an opportunity, Donovan Osborne out on the bases last inning. Took a little while longer than normal to get back out on the mound and throw his warm-up pitches. We'd like to wish a happy 71st birthday to Bill Van Horn, and also a happy 80th birthday to Vito Grieco, Southwest Philly. Happy birthday. A couple anniversary wishes also. Dolores and Joe Catrobon, 42nd anniversary today, and also celebrating a 42nd wedding anniversary, Warren and Frances Hood of Philadelphia.
We go to the 5th. Lenny Dykstra leading it off. Lenny tonight with a double and a line drive to right. He scored a run, and the Phillies are ahead 2-1 here in the 5th. Cardinals have 6 hits. The Phillies have 5. Lenny, first pitch swinging. Fly ball should be caught by Jordan. 1 pitch and 1 out.
For the second time this evening, Lenny going away from his normal mode. We saw in the first inning hit the double, hitting the first strike that Osborne threw him. Here, first pitch hitting, flew out to left center field. So something a little different. We mentioned the Phillies had some trouble with these types of pitchers, changing the approach a little bit. Lenny changing his approach, swinging earlier in the count.
Duncan 1 for 2, and he takes a pitch. Duncan with a stolen base and a run scored. Well, the Phillies have had good success against the Cardinals. They have played the Cardinals 5 times and won 4 of them. 1 ball and 1 strike on Mariano Duncan. The Carpenter Cup Championship game final. Suburban National defeated Burlington County 8-4. Congratulations to Suburban National. The tournament played at Veterans Stadium. Phillies expecting to get Wes Chamberlain back on this next homestand. 1-2 the count. In the meantime, he's doing his Steve Carlton imitation down there.
Taking those steel balls and rolling them around in your hand. Good for the hand strength and wrist, forearm.
And it won't hurt the balls at all.
No. Just one of those little things that you can do while you're sitting on the bench, while you're on the disabled list. Nothing else to do except do a little work on your hands and your wrist and forearms and pay attention to some Major League Baseball. It's Mitch. We haven't seen him so far this series. Seen just about everybody else out of that Philly bullpen, but we have not seen Mitch.
He warmed up in last night's ball game at the tail end. I don't know whether he was on his own or whether the Phillies had him up, but it did turn out to be a save situation, but he was not called upon. Just off the end of his bat. 2-2 on Duncan. Gives it a ride to left field. Gilkey, though, has it lined up. Dunk is out, second out of the inning. Here's Kruk. John has lined to center, and he was the one that hit the ball sharply the opposite way. We saw the defensive play of the night when Todd Zeile was able to backhand his ball and throw him out. Fouled away. Strike one on Kruk.
Cardinals in the outfield defensively, the first two games of this series have been playing Kruk, shading him around to pull. Tonight, playing him around the opposite way. Cardinal outfield shaded to the opposite side.
Hard hit ground ball up the middle, but there's Ali Seiya to make the play, and you're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Phillies go in order. We move to the bottom of the fifth. It's 2-1 Phillies. Down a bit. It's not bad at all. Phillies lead 2-1. And Ozzie Smith leads off the Cardinal fifth inning. Tommy hasn't gotten him out yet. Ozzie has singled and walked in this game. Having another nice year, batting at .278. Probably headed for another All-Star game, and it's tough to say that he doesn't deserve it, really. I mean, I think Barry Larkin, being younger, is probably, you know, just at this moment a better shortstop, but you got to say that the career that Ozzie's had and the fans want to see him, why not? Hold on. Tommy stopped right in the middle of his delivery as Smith got time. How do you feel about the All-Star situation, Teak?
As far as the shortstop position goes?
Well, no, the overall business about, you know, voting for guys that have had great careers as opposed to some guy that might have a little better numbers currently, that type of thing. Another play for Hollins here. Dave throws it in the dirt, but Kruk got it. That's an out. Hollins took that extra crow step that he does so many times. He really should just come up and fire the ball. Kruk saved him.
Nice play by John. Hollins gets the ball in plenty of time, then takes that one extra hop. I think you're right. Get the ball and get rid of it. This one here is just a sinker. He just threw the ball over the top of the ball and sunk it into the ground. John doing a nice job of pulling it out of the dirt. Get back to your All-Star thing. I believe that the All-Star game is a game for the fans, and whoever the fans want to see, it's not, you know, it gets picky every once in a while because of the way players' contracts are written nowadays, and, you know, should so-and-so get a bonus or whatever because he makes the All-Star team and is the best player there. But the real purpose of the All-Star game is for the fans, and I think that the fans should see who they want to see. You know, the real good players. Barry Larkin is going to make the All-Star team. Whether he starts or doesn't start is really inconsequential. He's going to make the ball club because he deserves to be there, but let the starting lineup be picked by the fans.
Nicely put, Teak. That's ball three. 3-0 on Jeffries, who extended his hitting streak tonight. He has a 13-gamer right now. Lost him. Green's second walk. So the Cardinals continue their trend of having runners in every inning. So Tommy's done a lot of pitching out of the stretch. Zeile knocked in the only Cardinal run on a sacrifice fly in the third inning. He's officially 0 for 1. Looking at Bucky Dent.
That play by Kruk now with the walk to Jeffries. Had he not been able to come up with that ball, it's first and second and nobody out, and the Cardinals are in business again. Not quite as bad right now with a man on first and one out. Jeffries is definitely a threat to steal. Has stolen 19 of 25 this year.
And he's got a good lead. He started, then stopped. I don't know whether he felt he didn't get a good start or whether he was just bluffing, but he pulled up quickly. No, look at him. You know what he said there, and I guess he must have stumbled.
Well, it takes a heck of a lot of concentration to be able to have your mind made up that you're going to go, and then if you don't get a good start, be able to break it down and come back, as Jeffries did right there.
So he wasn't faking. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. You were talking about Zeal being very selective at the plate, but he doesn't walk that often. He's way down on his team in walks.
No, what he does is he likes to get to those 2-0, 3-1 counts, but then he puts in his mind, okay, it's 2-0, I'm going to get a strike, and he swings no matter where the ball is. So, if you happen to throw it in that good part of this hitting zone, he's cutting away at it, but he will also swing at some bad balls when he gets ahead in the count.
Zeal goes, or Jeffries goes, and there's a base hit by Zeal, and Jeffries going to go to third base. He makes it. Running on the pitch, Jeffries first to thirds on a single, and a single to left at that.
Zeal hits this ground ball through the left side, breaking ball on the inside part of the plate. Mariano Duncan had actually taken one step towards second base, allowed the ball to get through there easily. Jeffries, because of the fact that he was off and running on the pitch, hustles into third base and just beats the throw by Incaviglia. You can see right there Dave Hollins really didn't even attempt to make a tag. He knew Jeffries was going to be in, but he wanted to check to make sure that Zeal was not attempting to go to second base. So the Cardinals now with runners on the corners. And again, how big was that play by Kruk?
Very big.
A run.
Here's Witten, chance to tie the ball game. Witten has lined to left and struck out. Swings through a pitch. That was a good pitch by Tommy Green. Tommy has danced through the raindrops tonight. The Cardinals have left 6 runners on base, 2 more now. Boy, they've had a lot of runners. And indeed, the Cardinals have out-hit the Phillies 7-5 with hits in every inning. Curveball missed. 1-1.
Two areas that Tommy's had some success against Witten tonight are the fastball away, all the way out away, and the breaking ball down and in that Witten has swung over a couple times.
That's going to get the tying run home at the least, and it delivers more. 2 base hit for Witten. It's a tie ball game, and 2 more in scoring position. Witten's 40th run batted in excites the crowd at Busch.
Well, we said that the 2 pitches we give him trouble are fastballs away and breaking balls in. This is a breaking ball away. See, Darren's on the inside part of the plate. Tommy throws it on the outside. Because of being off speed, Witten able to extend his arms, catch up to the slower off speed pitch, and drives it hard into left center field, just barely. That ball stayed in the ballpark, hit off high off the wall in left center field.
In steps Brian Jordan with runners second and third, still only 1 out. That was the first extra base hit for the Cardinals, who have 8 hits in the game. Jordan 1 for 2. High ball 1. You mentioned at the outset tonight, Teak, that the Phillies need innings out of Tommy Green tonight. And as a result of that, even though he's in trouble here and has made a lot of pitches and given up a lot of hits, the bullpen is quiet.
Well, there just aren't too many available bodies down there tonight. Jim Fregosi had to use a lot more pitching than he wanted to last night. Came up a little short.
Jordan swings and misses. 1-1. Jordan singled and stole a base in the second inning, was called out on strikes in the third. This is where Tommy Green could use a strikeout. Check swing out of play, so that's the second strike. It's 1-2 on Brian Jordan. Green has 5 strikeouts tonight. His last one came against Jordan to end the third inning.
And when Tommy's got his strikeouts, he's got them in clusters. 3 in the second inning to finish out that inning, 2 in the third inning to finish that one off.
Just off the corner, it's 2-2 on Jordan. We have a tie game, 2-2 in the 5th.
And this would be a huge strikeout right here, because the Phillies, even with the Cardinals with runners at second and third in a tie ball game, middle of the infield is back, so any ground ball in the middle of the infield is going to score a run for the Cardinals. About the only way you can keep the Cardinals from scoring here is either a pop-up in the infield or the strikeout.
Time is called. Green and Dalton a little trouble communicating here, so they'll do it the old-fashioned way.
Eliminate all doubt.
Darren puts his glove up. Nobody's going to do any lip reading, huh?
That's right. Mark Whitten standing out at second base, facing right in toward that conversation. So Dutch just puts the glove up to hide his mouth so he can't do any lip reading, just as he uses that glove on the side of his leg to hide the signs from third base coach Bucky Dent when he flashes them. You think those gloves are only to catch balls with? You can do a lot of things with a good baseball glove.
2-2, the count on Jordan. Key spot in our ball game. We're in the 5th inning and a tie game. Jordan gets jammed, fouls it out of play. Cardinals have 3 more hits than the Phillies. They have not led, but they have come back to tie it. It was 2-0 Phillies, who got their 2 in the 1st, and now the Cardinals peck away with 1 in the 3rd and 1 here in the 5th. Ground ball to second. That's going to get a run in. Morandini makes the play to first. Out at first base on a close play, and the Cardinals take a 3-2 lead. Brian Jordan picks up a run batted in. Whitten goes to third. 2 outs.
As we mentioned, the Phillies with the infield back. Ground ball to second base. Scores the run easily. Mickey kind of nonchalanted that play just a little bit. Jordan moves down that line pretty quickly.
Yeah, that was
close play at first base.
Closer than it really should have been. Here is Alicea. Runner at third and 2 outs. Ball 1 on Alicea. He is struck out and fouled out.
That pitch right there, Darren setting down and on the inside part of the plate. Tommy throws it high and outside. Earlier in the inning, wanted the breaking ball on Whitten, down and in, got it out over the plate. Whitten slammed it off the wall, so Tommy right now struggling a little bit, and probably because of the number of pitches that he's thrown with the location. That one there, he gets down and on the inside part of the plate where they wanted it.
And he gets a strike, gets 1-1.
Fatigue in the arm will not only show up in lack of velocity, but it will also show up in loss of control. When the arm gets tired, you just can't quite put the ball exactly where you want it all the time, and that's half of pitching.
Alicea fouls it, 1-2. Looking to get the 3rd out of the inning without giving up another run. The Cardinals have scored 3 unanswered runs to take a 1-run lead. Jeffries, Zeal, they've both been active hitters in this series. It's 2-2.
Talking about how they did it. That's what hitters do. When things are going well and you're scoring runs, they sit on the bench and talk about how we're doing this. When things are going poorly, they won't be saying anything. They'll just be kind of sitting there wondering what happened. Pitchers do the same thing.
Sure. That's ball 3. It looks like there is a little fatigue factor here. And Tommy down at the bottom of the lineup just trying to get an out and go back and regroup in the dugout. Three-2 pitch. Ball 4. Tommy's 3rd walk, and Pagnazzi will come to the plate. Cardinal catcher tonight has struck out and flied to right. Tommy seemingly has pitched this entire game with runners on base. Cardinals got their leadoff man each of the first 3 innings. Didn't get a man on last inning till there were 2 outs, but got a man on this inning with 1 out. Strike. When the Cardinals first visited Philadelphia this year, the Phillies were able to win every ball game. Phillies do not come back to St. Louis now again until the final weekend of the year. Out of play. Under the current schedule alignment, the Phillies go to each city twice, and each team comes to Philadelphia twice. The Cardinals will be in Philadelphia in the end of July. They'll be in on July 27th for a 3-game series, which includes a business person special on Thursday the 29th.
Got Pagnozzi on the breaking ball first time up, 3 straight. See if Tommy can get it in the right spot. Throws the breaking ball, just misses outside with it. It's the pitch you want to get Pagnozzi out with is the breaking ball away. The problem being at this point, if fatigue is setting in, number 1, throwing a good sharp breaking ball, and number 2, making sure that you get it in the right spot. You don't want to hang it up and on the inside part of the plate. That's the kind of pitch that Pagnozzi can drive.
Another breaking ball has missed, and Tommy's really struggling here. 2-2. He does have the luxury, though, of knowing the pitcher's coming up next, although that pitcher, Osborne, singled last time up.
Well, Pagnozzi's the guy who wants to get out. We'd like to save Donovan Osborne for next inning.
The 2-2 pitch in the air to center and well hit. Dykstra back. He can't get it. Dykstra can't play it. The ball is in play. Scoring is Witten. Alicea scored. Pagnozzi to third, and the Cardinals have a 5-2 lead. Triple for Pagnozzi.
Well, you want to get Pagnozzi here. Fastball inside is what Dalton wants. Fastball down the middle is what Tommy throws. Pagnozzi hits it to the deepest part of the ballpark. Lenny goes up. The ball hits right off the yellow line. Fortunately for Green, it stays in the ballpark. It hit the yellow line. You can see it right here. Watch the ball hit right on top of the yellow line. Lenny's glove not quite there. The ball hits the yellow line and stays in the ballpark.
That's amazing that it came back in. It looks like it hit the back of the line but came in.
Well, it hits that padded area. That center field wall is padded and actually compressed down into that padding and kicked off the hard surface behind there and kicked back in. Mark Davis up quickly in the Philly bullpen.
That's Pagnozzi's first triple of the year. Here is Osborne, fouls it off, strike 1. So it's 5-2 St. Louis.
Look at Lenny goes back. You can see his glove right. His glove goes to the top of the wall. The ball hits on top of the wall. That's as close as you can get to the ball without getting your glove on it. And if you're Tom Pagnozzi, you're wondering, why that ball doesn't bounce out of the ballpark for you.
Good question. Gets away from Dalton. Here comes Pagnozzi. 6-2 Cardinals. Wild pitch. Well, this has been an ugly inning.
And it all has to do with fatigue. Tommy Green, we mentioned the location on the pitches that were hit has been bad. Not where Darren Dalton wants the pitches. This one here just plain throws the curveball right in the ground, threw about a 55-footer. We mentioned Dutch doing a good job of blocking balls all night long, but that one just hit so far out in front he didn't have much of a chance at all.
Strike 1-2 the count on Osborne. So it's a 5-run inning for the Cardinals, and they lead 6-2. Out of play. Osborne has struck out and singled. This is some night for Jim to be wearing that warm-up jacket. That's his lucky jacket. It hasn't turned out to be so tonight. It's got to be awfully uncomfortable. Gets him with a breaking ball, and it's finally over. But the Cardinals send 8 men to the plate while scoring 5 times, 3 hits, and nobody left on base. 6-2 St. Louis.
Well, sports fans, the All-Star break is coming up.
Of the night, the Cardinals have come back to put 6 on the board. So the Phillies can be thankful anyway. We're only in the 6th inning. They have a chance to do some work here against Donovan Osborne. He's been a fairly tough customer tonight. He certainly hasn't hurt himself with free passes. Not many of the Cardinal pitchers normally do. He has walked only 1 tonight. Has given up 5 hits. 2 of the 5 doubles. Dave Hollins leads it off. He's 1 for 2. Dave has struck out and doubled.
Phillies have shown us all year long the ability to throw a big inning on the board. Need to get one of those right now, a 2 or 3 runner, just to get yourself back within range of the St. Louis Cardinals.
You know, if you get late in the ball game, some of those Cardinal relievers that were in last night's ball game when they didn't have a whole lot of interest in it will be a little more peaked tonight. I'm talking about Mike Perez, for example. Mike did not have a good outing last night, and yet he's one of the toughest setup men in baseball. And Lee Smith finally got himself a night off, so he'll probably come back fresh tonight. Fouled away. He has already saved, Smith has, 15 games this month, June. Today, the 30th. That already is a major league record. I'm sure he's sitting out there thinking, maybe I can get 1 more. That's all he's going to get.
Squeeze 1 more out of this month. Well,
hey, Teak, being an ex-reliever now, 30 days in a month, and he's got 15 saves. That is outstanding, isn't it?
Well, it's phenomenal just to think that you would even get in 15 ball games in a month as a short man. I mean, that means you're in a ball game every other day for an entire month.
Tells you what kind of month the Cardinals have had, and we've already documented that. They have 19 wins this month, so he's saved 15 of the 19.
And what that also means is, even though they've won 19 ball games, they haven't been blowing anybody away. I mean, he's been in save opportunities every night, so that means, you know, worst case scenario, he's going into the 9th inning with a 3-run lead. So, you know, they're not lopsided ball games, but yet they're consistently winning the close ones.
Strikeout. Osborne gets his 3rd. Hollins has been the victim twice. Now he will go to work on Darren Dalton. Dutch tonight has walked and flied to center.
You notice that little dirt spot on the front of Donovan Osborne's uniform,
Yeah.
and then also the dirt spot on the back of his uniform. That is not from sliding on the bases. A couple innings ago, throwing one of his warm-up pitches, took a tumble right on the mound, hung a spike up, ended up doing a full roll right on the mound. So now he'll go back in the clubhouse and tell everybody he's had a great night on the bases, and that's how his uniform got dirty. It's on his leg, on his backside, and on his shoulder.
Mark Davis remains up in the Phillies bullpen, and you're not going to have somebody up on a night like this unless you're going to use him. So it would appear as though Tommy Green is finished for the night after 5 innings. There's Davis. Two balls and a strike on Dalton, batting at .253. Pop-up. Out near second base, Ozzie Smith makes the call. 2 outs. Pete Incaviglia will bat with the bases empty and 2 outs. Pete tonight has singled and flied to right. He has an RBI. Knocked in the second Phillies run back in the 1st inning. High fly down the right field line. Witten is over. No. Nice try by the big guy. Incaviglia's opposite field power will fool you. We know he's a strong man, but that's something to put a ball down there like that.
Pitch out away from him, and as you said, as strong as he is, he doesn't. I mean, the ones that he hits, the mammoth ones that he hits, like he hit on Monday night, he's going to pull those. But I mean, he is so daggone strong that he can just muscle the ball out of any direction. Even a ballpark as big as Busch Stadium, that ball was deep into the corner the opposite way.
I think with the shortened stroke that he has this year, working with Dennis Menke, people are surprised by his hitting for average. He's batting .280 right now. He'll still strike out. Don't get me wrong. He strikes out plenty. There's a hard one hopper to Zeal. He throws across, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Jonathan Osborne puts them down in order, and the Cards lead 6-2. Mark Davis is coming on now for the Phillies as we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Davis worked in last night's ball game for an inning and 2/3, and he was wild. He walked 3, gave up a run on 2 hits. Gilkey bunts it foul back out of play. Gilkey is 2 out of 3 in the game tonight. 2 singles. Last time up he was out on a fielder's choice. Tommy Green made over 100 pitches tonight in 5 innings. It's outside. High, 2 balls and a strike. Take a look at Mark Davis's numbers for the year. Davis appearing in his 24th game tonight. Strictly a setup man, no saves. And that's ball 3. I mentioned that Mark struggled with his control here last night. He's got a good curveball. When he throws it for strikes, he really keeps the hitters off balance and generally gets a lot of strikeouts. Gilkey gets his 3rd hit of the ball game. Gilkey 3 out of 4. And that is the 10th hit for St. Louis. They've out hit the Phillies 10-5.
Well, I talk about that fastball from Davis. Here's one, but it's up out of the strike zone, actually, up about eye high. Gilkey just gets on top of it and swings straight through it. The old tomahawk shot into center field. That's not a real disciplined hitter, but he hit an awful nice line drive on a pitch that was well out of the strike zone.
Ozzie Smith 1 for 2 plus a walk. Ozzie now batting right-handed. Ground ball hit. Hollins, nice stop, play to second, off the bag, everybody's safe. Ozzie should get a hit on that, and he does. That's a base hit. It wasn't a good throw by Hollins, but no wonder by the way he caught the ball.
Dave Hollins has to retreat on this ball. Has to actually, normally you would like to turn the other way. Hollins is running away and spinning at the same time. Makes a pretty decent throw to second base. It just, because of the way he's spinning, tails up and wide. Mickey not able to hold on to the bag, but wisely goes out and gets the ball, does not let it go into right field.
So here's Greg Jeffries, who extended his hitting streak to 13 in a row. He's 1 for 2 plus a walk. Curveball in for a strike. Cardinals with hits in every inning tonight.
Well, Mark Davis's assignment last night when Jim Fregosi putting into the ball game with an 11-5 lead was to just hold the Cardinals down. He was not able to do that. The control caused him problems there. Now tonight, just the opposite assignment. Phillies trailing by a score of 6-2. Try to hold him at bay.
There's one out of third. Hollins with an off-balance throw. So that's a fielder's choice. The Phillies with a shot to make a double play, but unable to do it. But the Phillies do get an out.
And should have had 2 right there. Dave Hollins had plenty of time. Ball hit right by the bag. Gets the ball in good shape. Steps on the bag. And just as we saw before, throws the ball short and wide to first base. This time John Kruk has no chance to pull it out of the dirt because he has to leave the bag just to get in the area.
Now Dave just rounding back into shape again. You can't be too harsh on him right now. The hitter is Todd Zeal. Zeal is 1 for 2 with a sacrifice fly run batted in. He's also scored 1 run. Cardinals were all wondering what happened to Zeal's power. He hadn't hit a home run since May 11th until he unloaded a 3-run blast here last night. curve for a strike. Zeal hits it in the air to center. Dykstra backpedaling and makes the catch. Tagging at second base is Smith. Ozzie noticed that Lenny was off balance and kind of backpedaling in a funny way there, so he knew he would have no trouble advancing. There are 2 outs. Mark Whitten got an RBI double last time.
On a ball hit that deep to center field, Lenny's only play is to return the ball to second base. Ozzie, number 1, knowing that he's retreating, but number 2, knows that he's going to get there by the way he's approaching the ball, is tagging up all the way. So he just easily moves over to third base.
Whitten doubled in a run and then scored a run back when the Cardinals got 5 last inning. Whitten is hitting at .241, but he's been a kind of guy who gets hits in key spots. He has an RBI every 7.3 at bats, and that's a pretty good pace, especially for a guy hitting .241. Runner goes from first, Jeffries, and Dalton comes up trying to see whether Smith might be off third. It'll be a stolen base for Jeffries, his 2nd of the night and 21st of the year. So that puts 2 Cards in scoring position here. Line drive left field deep and in. No, it's a round tripper. Whitten gets it out of here. It bounced back, but it's a home run. The Cardinals have a 3-run homer out of Mark Whitten and lead it 9-2.
Mark Whitten hit that ball right on the button. That was a laser shot. Incaviglia made a turn and went back, but really didn't have much of a chance to react to that ball at all. Hit off the sign right above the left field fence, ricocheted right back to him, but that was a bolt.
The Cardinals have specialized in the 3-run home run. Teak, they had 2 last night, now another one tonight.
You mentioned earlier about Whitten being a good-looking young player. Well, he showed us some power right there, and we've already, the first couple of games of this series, seen that strong arm that he possesses. Looks like he may also be taking the rest of the night off, grab his equipment, going home.
Pitch in for a strike. IBM tail of the tape on that one, 362 feet. Brian Jordan is at the plate. And that's fair. Extra bases for Jordan. Amaro has to chase it down in the Cardinal bullpen. He's still having trouble with it. And Jordan gets the third base. Thirteenth hit of the night for the Cardinals.
Watch Jordan, this pitch right here. Breaking ball away, slams the ball down between Kruk and the bag. Now we see Amaro go over. He's going to have a little trouble here. He tries to play it on a bounce, and it gets hung up underneath the bench in the Cardinal bullpen. He has to go in there and dig it out. That ball is still in play once it's underneath that bench. Jordan, with outstanding speed, was just cruising into third base. Watch how quick this ball gets out of the ballpark. Boom. Inky turns and starts to go back, but it's already, this one's for you. Wow.
Luis Alicea is now the batter. Jordan with his 2nd triple of the year. Outside to Ali Seiya. He's 0 for 2 in the game, plus a walk and a run scored. Cardinals have a 9-2 lead.
Talk about these hot summer nights in St. Louis. Well, the Cardinals have just turned up the heat the last couple innings on the Phillies, big time.
9 unanswered runs by St. Louis. 2-0. See, the Phillies got their 2 first, and here come the Cardinal runs. 1, 5, and 3.
There are the crooked numbers. He looks just like he did in the first inning.
I know. That's a poker face right there. 3-0. Strike. It's 3-1 on Ali Seiya. I guess it's too late for the tornado to save things.
Yeah, it's a little. 5 innings have been completed.
On the corner for a strike. They had thunderstorms and tornadoes in the forecast, and it's been much too placid weather-wise anyway here in St. Louis, and now it can't save us. Too late. 3-2 pitch. Walked him. Cardinals at first and third. The 8th batter of the inning comes up, Tom Pagnozzi. And Pags has a 2-run triple tonight. He's 1 for 3. So up and down this Cardinal lineup, everybody has contributed in one way or another, at least as far as getting on base, and that includes the Cardinal pitcher, Donovan Osborne. Every single Cardinal has been on base tonight. Fly ball, well hit to right center, but Dykstra says he can get it, and Lenny does get it for the 3rd out of the inning. Cardinals get 3 on the board. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. 3 runs, 4 hits, 2 left. 9-2 St. Louis. Inning here in St. Louis. And you were right, they did give Mark Whitten the rest of the night off. There's Rod Brewer taking over in right field for St. Louis. Cardinals holding a 9-2 lead.
So just as expected, Mark Whitten hits his 3-run homer, takes his glove and ball, and goes home.
I guess Joe said anybody who hits a 3-run home run tonight gets the rest of the night off. Tim Mauser up in the Phillies bullpen.
Mark Davis for the 2nd night in a row having a tough outing. You know, if there's been an Achilles heel for the Phillies, it's been when they've got behind in ball games early and just have struggled at times with some of that middle relief.
Ruben Amaro, he is 1 for 2 tonight, has flied to right and singled in the hole, fouls it off, strike 1. Osborne has pitched a fine ball game. He's held the Phillies to 5 hits over 6 innings. Oh, 2. It'd be a tough night to get that cotton candy all over your face.
Oh.
Might not get it off for a while. That's high, 1-2.
As hot as it is in St. Louis during the summer, you may not get that off until October.
Base hit for Ruben Amaro. Ruben's 2nd hit of the ball game and hit number 6 for the Phillies. Mickey Morandini with Ricky Jordan moving to the on-deck circle. A bat for Davis.
That single by Amaro, the first base runner the Phillies have had since Amaro was on in the 4th inning. Osborne had retired 8 in a row.
And now the Cards are going to get bullpen action, Teak. Is this a little bit of an overreaction by Torrey, or do you think maybe his pitcher told him that's, you know, I'm starting to wear out?
Well, it's a warm night.
Jeffries makes the play for the middleman, and they get him. 3-6 fielder's choice. And now Ricky Jordan batting for Mark Davis. Jordan batting .273 with 2 homers, 4 runs batted in. Ricky has 5 pinch hits. He's 5 for 23. Todd Pratt in the dugout. Looks like he's going to take over behind the plate, and Dalton's going to get the rest of the night off.
He's got the gear on and Dutch doesn't, so there's a pretty good indication that Todd Pratt's going to be the receiver the rest of the way.
Probably means that Dalton will start tomorrow. And they'll probably split the twin bill, I would guess, Friday night at Veterans Stadium. Ricky Jordan has always hit Cardinal pitching. He's had some great games in this ballpark. Very high pop foul. That's a nice play by Jeffries. Jordan is out. Second out of the inning. Ricky, 1,000 batter against the Cardinals this year. He was 1 for 1. .336 lifetime was his average against St. Louis. Total tickets sold tonight, 32,022. Here's Dykstra. Lenny got a ground rule double in the first inning and scored a run. He's 1 for 3.
You mentioned Joe Torre getting the bullpen up so quickly after first base runner gets on for the Phillies here. Osborne very well could be tiring. A warm night. He has thrown quite a few pitches.
And not a man who is known for going the distance really anyway. He's completed just 1 game all year.
Cardinals down in the bullpen have Les Lancaster up and also Lee Guterman, who they just recalled today from Louisville. Tom Urbani pitched last night, did not pitch well, so he was replaced by Guterman on the roster this afternoon.
And we were talking about Lee Smith early in the ball game, but at least for the moment we can forget about Lee with a 7-run lead. It is not a safe situation.
At this point you can forget Lee, you can forget Mike Perez, and you can probably forget Rob Murphy. Joe Torre finally looking down the bullpen. Are they ready?
Strike. 3-1.
See Joe pointing to his hat. That's usually the sign from the bullpen. When you're just down in the bullpen, you tip your hat to the manager. That means that the guys down there are ready. And I think that's really all Torre is looking for.
Ground ball on the right side. It goes through. Lenny's got a base hit. Morandini stops at second base as Dykstra gets his second hit of the ball game using that right side hole. So Torre's coming out here, and we'll see what he has in mind. Mariano Duncan is due up. That would mean that Lancaster would be the likely choice of relievers if he is to make a change.
Like with Joe jogging out to the mound, what he's going to do is he's going to go to Osborne and ask him, how do you feel? Osborne probably told him he was tiring a little bit between innings. Now Joe's just going to ask him, if he wants to take a shot at just finishing up this inning. Obviously Osborne does. He's going to allow him to stay in there, try to get at least one more hitter out this inning. Osborne's scheduled to lead off the next inning, so Torre ideally would like him to finish this inning and then be able to pinch hit for him and put one of his new pitchers in next inning.
Well, and those Cardinal pinch hitters have really come through. Gerald Perry has 2 pinch hits in 2 games so far. Duncan 1 for 3 tonight. Mariano singled and scored back in the first when the Phillies got there too. They've been blank since then. And it's 9-2 Cardinals. Base hit in the hole. Morandini to third. They hold him there. The bases are loaded. We might be seeing Torre once again. Mariano with his second hit of the ball game, and here comes Joe. So a pitching change forthcoming this time for sure. And he'll probably be bringing Guterman into his Cardinal debut.
A gate draw. He might still have an opportunity. I don't look for Carlton Fisk to be playing in '94.
Ball 4. Phillies get a run. It's a 9-3 ball game, and they are still loaded. So Guterman's Cardinal debut is less than auspicious as he walks in a run. Dave Hollins gets a chance to bat. Will it be off Guterman or not?
Well, Joe Coleman goes to the phone, so the squad that was standing before is now moving around. Les Lancaster grabs a ball and a glove, and he's going to go back to throwing again. Also, talked about Rob Murphy before. He's getting up, starting to loosen up in the Cardinal bullpen also.
All those guys you had us forgetting about, huh? Zeal scoops it up on an Pratt as part of a new battery because the pitcher is Tim Mauser. Tim Mauser coming on with the Cardinals ahead 9-3. How are they batting, you might ask? Well, we'll let you know shortly.
We'll try to get some information for you as soon as we get it.
Yeah. Well, Guterman's going to stay in the ball game because he's going to come right out here and get an at-bat. Cardinals ahead 9-3, bottom half of the 7th inning, and Guterman leads it off. I'm not sure I've ever seen him bat before. Takes a strike, 1-1 on the big guy. Slaps the ball on the ground. Morandini's got it. Over to first to Jordan, and Guterman is out. Donovan Osborne did a nice job tonight, turning it over to the Cardinal bullpen, ahead by 6. Speaking of nice jobs, how about Gilkey? 3 hits in the ball game, and here he comes. He's 3 out of 4. Gilkey with 3 singles, 1 run scored. He's hitting at .317. Mauser features a forkball. Gets a lot of outs when he's got control of that forkball, when he gets ahead of the count. Jose De Leon is up in the bullpen. He is listed as a starting pitcher in Friday night's doubleheader. Depending on what happens here tonight, that could change. I guess he could throw a few pitches tonight, and if he didn't get in the ball game or didn't pitch much, that would still stand for Friday.
Well, this would be the normal day you would do your throwing on the side anyway. Jose pitched a couple nights ago, pitched an inning, so this is probably just, hold him off until late in the game and then try to get a little work in, get him ready for Friday.
Gilkey's 4th hit of the ball game, and this one is an extra base hit. Gilkey is 4 out of 5. Boy, the Cardinals have 14 hits in this game tonight. Hits in every inning, and it's just been tough to slow down the Cards tonight. Ozzie Smith, 2 out of 3 plus a walk.
As you mentioned, the Cardinals have had the pressure on almost every inning of this ball game. Tommy Green was able to avoid trouble early in the ball game, but as the game wore on, the Cardinals actually, what they have done is worn the Phillies down by just keeping the pressure on all night long.
Strike. Ozzie hitting at .280. Well, he really works hard to keep himself in shape. You have to admire what Ozzie Smith has done to be able to extend his career. Not that he's ancient, but he is 38. He doesn't play like he's 38.
Well, it's very interesting. I watched him before the game. I was talking to Bucky Dent. Bucky was hitting pop-ups to Ozzie. Now here's a guy that's got a gazillion gold gloves on his shelf, hitting pop-ups, and Ozzie was intentionally spinning himself around to get himself disoriented and then shagging the pop-ups down and fielding each one of them with his back to the infield to make it a little more difficult.
Wow. Incaviglia, playing fairly shallow, is there to make the catch. Ozzie is out. That's the 2nd out of the inning.
So here's a guy that can make every play in the world, and yet he's still working on things at the age of 38 to keep himself sharp and make himself a better player. That's why he's the wizard.
A little slow for Ozzie as he gets in the dugout. It's been a long night. Greg Jeffries, he's 1 for 3, and that hit extended his hitting streak to 13 in a row. Strike. Greg doesn't think so. You look at the look on his face. But leading 9-3, it's not a time to launch a complaint. Hits it back and stopped by Mauser. Mauser makes the play. So the inning is over. The Cardinals in the 7th, no runs, 1 hit. They leave 1. And we go to the 8th, 9-3 St. Louis.
Trouble with heartburn? Well, you could change your job, change your lifestyle, change your diet.
Bon appetit.
Or better still, reach for Rolaids. It absorbs acid fast to bring 100% relief to millions. So maybe you can't change your life, but you can get relief in original and calcium rich. Rolaids spells relief.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see. If it's gonna get done, it's up to you and me. Come on and head for the mountains of Bush. Come on and head for the mountains of Bush. Beer.
We know how to help you save on Dodge Caravan during the National Minivan Sale. Take this one. You can get over $1,800 in total savings, including air and no extra charge with the Family Value Package. Or check out this loaded Grand Caravan LE with $2,600 in total savings, including sale prices on some of our most popular luxury options. Only at the Minivan Store. See your nearest Dodge dealer. We know how to help.
Phillies baseball on Sports Channel is brought to you by Busch Beer. Hey, Phillies fans, remember it's not whether you can win or lose. It's how you enjoy the game, so always reach for smooth Busch Beer or easy drinking Busch Light. And if you reach for it here in St. Louis, you'll reach for a very fresh one because it's brewed just down the street. Teak, remember last year you and I had the pleasure of going out there, touring the brewery, and they gave us an official brewmaster certificate.
So we are official brewmasters and also brew drinkers. So
absolutely. Well, we brought that a long time before we visited.
Before we were brewmasters, that's correct.
Right, but now we're right up there, and you have yours framed at home, don't you?
I have it hanging right behind my bar, right where it belongs.
Todd Pratt leads off the inning, getting his first at-bat in the ball game. Todd hitting .207 with a homer, 3 runs batted in. Spelling Darren Dalton. Wondering where they are hitting. It's Thompson in the number 1 spot, Batiste in the number 3 spot, Mauser batting in the 4 spot, Pratt batting in the 5 spot, and Jordan in the 9 hole. Caught by the Wizard. Ozzie Smith timing his jump just perfectly, and Pratt is robbed.
It doesn't even surprise you anymore when he does that.
No.
He's not even excited about it. Well, another routine play.
Yeah.
I've done that 1,000 times.
And he has.
You're right.
Incaviglia at the plate, 1 for 3 RBI. Look at the perspiration on everybody tonight. Ozzie's face, Incaviglia's arms. It's a sticky one here in St. Louis. Every time I get up from this chair, I'm kind of stuck to it. Yeah.
Just wondering over the years how many people Ozzie has sent back to the dugout muttering to themselves.
Really? Here might be another one. Look at that quick release. He skids it over, and it's in time. The skid release by the Wizard. No wonder they don't take him out late in the ball game.
This keeps building the numbers here. Well behind the line when he fields the ball, just quickly gets rid of it. Knows he's got the AstroTurf. Didn't hit the soft spot this time. Nice big one hopper to Jeffries. Gets Inky by half a step. He's got all the plays. That's why he's the Wizard. Speaking of sweating.
That man probably lost a pound or 2 tonight.
Have to go back after the game and replenish those fluids.
The batter is Amaro. Ruben 2 for 3 tonight. 2 more singles for Amaro as he continues to play very impressively. Had a great series in Pittsburgh and has not let up at all. Another hit for Amaro. He may have extra bases. Brewer has to dig it out of the corner. He missed it on the first shot. Ruben's going to go to third. We'll see how they score this baby, but he's got an extra base hit. Going to give him a triple. Phillies' first hit off Guterman.
You mentioned Ruben has been on fire since being recalled by the Phillies. Slashes this ball down the right field line. Brewer hustling over, tries to make the play, elects to try to cut it off before it gets to the corner. Once it gets by him, then it bounces away. Amaro easily cruises into third base. Stay hot, big guy.
He is hot. He sure is.
Everybody's hot tonight.
Now Mickey Morandini. Mickey has a 7-game hitting streak, but has not been able to extend it as yet. You did get on base on a fielder's choice and scored the last time, but as a batter, he is 0 for 3. Phillies trail 9-3. Ouch. End of hitting streak. Hit by a pitch. Now Mickey quietly goes to first base, and the Phillies have first and third for Ricky Jordan.
First pitch from Gooderman was on the inside part of the plate. Mickey jumped back, got out of the way. This time not quite able to pull the elbow out of the way in time. Takes it right off that elbow.
That's a tough place to get hit. You're better off getting hit on the backside.
There are no padding on the elbow.
No.
And the Cardinal bullpen's back at it again.
And it is Perez.
And Rob Murphy.
Yep. All right, Jordan's had one at bat tonight. Ricky fouled out to the first baseman Jeffries. Topper and a foul ball, strike one. 9-3 Cardinals in the 8th. Pitchers tomorrow afternoon here at Busch Stadium. Curt Schilling for the Phillies against Bob Tewksbury. Schilling has lost his last 2 starts and winless in his last 3 starts. Tewksbury has won 4 in a row. On the corner, 0-2 on Ricky. Curveball hit in the air to center field. Jordan drifting over and makes the play. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, a hit, 2 left, and it's 9-3 St. Louis.
Master the art of pitching and catching with Play Ball the Major League way. You'll go inside the game to learn the Major League secrets for successful pitching. The coaches who teach the pros will now teach you.
What you get on a cross seam is a truer flight of the ball. The ball's going to spin off here.
Plus, you'll see Major League stars apply the same game-tested pitching techniques. Then you'll go behind the plate to uncover Major League methods, including blocking home plate, accurate throws, and even flashing signs.
Make sure that those signs are given well back in that growing area so that they're well protected and only your people can see them.
To learn how to catch like a pro, it's Play Ball the Major League way. To order pitching and catching for $19.95 plus $4 shipping, send check or money order to this address. Or use your credit card and call 1-800-255-9200. That's 1-800-255-9200.
Yo, Phillies fans, here's the pitch. You, the Phillies, San Diego. It's the Jiffy Lube Coca-Cola Phillies road trip. Go to Jiffy Lube and you could win an all-expense-paid trip for 4 to the Phillies-Padres game in sunny San Diego. Round-trip airfare, deluxe hotel accommodations, and meals are all included. But hey, you can't win if you don't enter at any participating Jiffy Lube before June 30th.
Kids 14 and under get a really neat mesh jersey free. Compliments of Model Sporting Goods when the Phillies take on Barry Bonds. Will Clark and the Giants Sunday, July 11th at 1:35. Call 463-1000.
Friday, the Phillies start a long homestand, beginning with 4 with the Padres, a make-up doubleheader. Then the Dodgers in for games Monday through Wednesday, July 5 through 7, all 3 at 7:35. And then the first-place Giants the following weekend, including a Saturday day game at 3 o'clock. The number to call for your tickets, 463-1000. Zeal leads off the Cardinal 8th inning. It's 9-3 St. Louis. Zeal has singled, scored a run, and knocked in a run. He's 1 for 3. strike. Eric Gregg has expanded his strike zone, and Fred Bird loves it.
Speaking of being in catcher's gear, how'd you like to be in that little outfit all night long?
Yeah, well, that'd be a little better than being the Fanatic, wouldn't it? Woo! One and two on Todd Zeile. He's made some sparkling plays in the field, and I'm really impressed by the third base that Zeile has shown us tonight. Struck him out. Tim Mauser gets him on his forkball. One out here in the eighth, and Rod Brewer is going to get a chance to bat for the first time in the ball game. Brewer hitting at .246, no homers, 10 RBIs. He came in and spelled Mark Whitten right after Whitten hit a 3-run homer. Here's a guy who's been up and down over the years. Every time he goes back to the minors, he has big numbers. In the 1990 year, he led the entire Cardinal organization in RBIs with 83.
Brewer has always been a good hitter. He's just always had a problem when he gets called up by the Cardinals finding a position to play. A first baseman outfielder. Hasn't been a whole lot of holes in this Cardinal ball club, and he's in the same situation this year. First base, of course, occupied by Greg Jeffries, and Brewer really doesn't have the type of speed to play in the outfield here at Busch Stadium. The big expanse out there, you have to be able to have some pretty good speed to cover ground out there. Brewer not blessed with really great speed.
They use him primarily as a pinch hitter. He was 0 for 6 as a pinch hitter, and then in his last 13 pinch hitting appearances, he's had 6 hits. 1 and 2, the count on Rod Brewer. On the ground, Jordan plays it. Gets it out of the glove, throws behind Mauser. That was a nice catch by Mauser. Not a very good throw by Rickey. But they get the out, and there are 2 down. Brian Jordan will come to the plate.
Well, we were mentioning last night's ball game a little earlier, and Mark Davis having problems last night and having problems again tonight. Tim Mauser was also in that ball game last night, and he struggled. Tonight, doing a much better job. So far has faced 6 Cardinal hitters, has retired 5 of them, only giving up the 2-base hit to Gilkey, who gets 2 base hits off of everybody, so that doesn't really matter.
That's right. That double for Gilkey was his 11th double in the last 14 games. This is Jordan. He has an extra base hit tonight, a triple. 2 out of 4 with a run batted in. He didn't get his RBI on either of the hits. He got it on a ground out. Out of play. Mauser's 1-1 pitch to Jordan. Should be caught in right field by Amaro. Down go the Cardinals in the 8th. We head to the 9th inning with the Cardinals holding a 9-3 lead.
In a game rich with traditions, Sherwin-Williams has created one of its own by preserving and protecting the national shrines of our national pastime. This is the paint of the pros, and it's the choice of millions of fans at home. And while your town may not have a big league ballpark in it, it does have a big league paint store. The pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams.
Where to find the Mountain Man. A mountain man can often be found on the trail of adventure, in search of remote watering holes, or weathering harsh climates. Most often, however, you'll find the Mountain Man wherever you find smooth bush beer or easy drinking Busch Light. So, head for the mountains and find yourself in the wide, open world of the Mountain Man.
The Phillies take on the West in 7 big games. First, 3 with the Dodgers, Monday, July 5th, Tuesday, July 6th, and Wednesday, July 7th, all at 7:35. Followed by 4 against the Giants with Bonds, Clark, and Williams. Thursday, July 8th, and Friday, July 9th at 7:35. Saturday, July 10th at 3 o'clock. And then all kids 14 and under get a free batting practice jersey Sunday, July 11th at 1:35. Call 463-1000.
The upcoming Phillies telecast for you tomorrow afternoon on PHL 17 at 1:30 Philadelphia time. Then on Friday for the doubleheader bonus coverage for you on Prism with the Phillies and the Padres. They'll pick it up at 6:30. Show you the bonus coverage of the first game, all of the second game, and then Saturday at 7 on Prism for the Phillies and the San Diego Padres. Milt Thompson will be batting for the Phillies, leading off the 9th inning. It's 9-3 St. Louis. Milt had 3 hits in last night's ball game, hitting at .245. Up the middle, but there is the Wizard. My goodness. He is a human vacuum cleaner. You don't get one past Ozzie very easily. How many times has he thrilled this crowd?
Oh, tell you what, if you want to get a base hit, don't hit it in this man's direction. This time we saw him go to the hole before. This time it goes up the middle. And again, that quick release right on the money. Now, Mildy plays. See Mildy looking out there. He played with Ozzie last year. He knows. You don't hit it in that direction.
Duncan is 2 out of 4 tonight. You know, every time you think that Ozzie is losing a step or you see him make a bad play or something, he just comes out here and works all that much harder. And the next time you see, yeah, you're right, Milt. You're right, Milt.
There's a conversation right there going on between Milt and Ozzie.
Alicea swipes at it and gets the play. Hey, the Cardinals are making some fancy plays in the field tonight. There was 1 error in the ball game, but that was all the way back in the first inning. An error on Witten. Jeff Manto is going to come out and bat for. Well, we were given the wrong lineup, weren't we? Because they've still got Batiste on deck.
So that means Mauser was in Kruk's spot. Okay.
Yeah, they were switched around. So Manto is batting then for Mauser. Manto 1 for 12.
They just initially announced in the press box that Manto was hitting for Batiste.
Very high pop-up. Looks like all of this is going to be academic. The Wizard goes out, and the Wizard ends the ball game. So the Cardinals take a 9-3 victory in this one, and they have taken 2 out of the 3 games in the series thus far. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel.